Hey everybody, Brian Tro coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date for today is Monday, December 16th. So we got our first little Christmassy dusting of snow yesterday. We had some snow, we had some sleet, freezing rain, kind of all scattered about here in the valley. Up in the mountains, they got several inches of snow in some places. So all that is going to really help us dig our way out of this drought that we've been in for a while now. Snow always makes for a really good relief. It just melts slowly in the mountains here, slowly day by day into the ground, helping refill that water table. And speaking of refilling the water table, it looks like we are going to get a little more rain tonight and maybe even some on Wednesday. So pretty mild and wet the next couple of days before things start to get cold again. And that's the roller coaster we're on. That we've been on all December. Really, really cold for several days and a couple of warm days. So you really got to put all that into the math when you're, picking where to go and when to go, what day to fish. These cold fronts have been really windy and quite cold, followed by a nice big warm up. So speaking of fishing this time of year in the winter, one of the keys, whether the water's low or not, is to get down on the bottom and keep that fly really low. We're coming up on the solstice here in the next week or so, and we're going to experience the shortest day of the year. We've got really cold nights coming up starting this weekend, so we could end up with our coldest week of the year. We'll see how that plays out, but all that means is the metabolism of these fish is going to go slow, 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 okay? So whether you're fishing for muskie or brook trout or bass, these fish are going to be very lethargic. They're not going to eat for hours on end. They're not going to swim hard. They're not going to swim far. And you really do have to do a lot of work to get the fly to the fish and just make them an offer they can't refuse. Make it too easy for them. So one thing I like to do this time of year is I like to fish jigged flies. Jig flies haven't been around forever. And now here in the shop, like half of our nymphs and half our streamers are tied on jig flies or jigged hooks. And it's nice because they fish upside down. You're just less likely to get hung on the bottom, so you can fish slow without losing as many as you would. A lot of them are tied with tungsten as the bead, which means they're going to be even heavier and get down even quicker. So this is one thing that you might want to consider when you're looking at the fly box this time of year, is putting on a bigger, heavier jig fly, whether it's a nymph or a streamer, to really scour the bottom. We've got some of the active nymphs this time of year. The large nymphs would be like stoneflies, and they truly do spend their life crawling on the bottom. Rarely are they up in the water column at all. So fish slow, grid that water out, make sure you're on the bottom fishing it nice and slow, and pick your battles. Pick your days. Tomorrow it's going to be 60 and cloudy, and that's going to be not only comfortable for you, but the fish are going to be a lot more active than they're going to be on Sunday when it's a high of 30 and the wind's ripping out of the northwest and it's sunny. So you really got to kind of play these things. If you are fishing on some of these colder days or colder mornings, we've got the ice off paste here in stock. That stuff is great. It'll really help you fish much, much longer without accumulating ice in your guides. We got the great gloves, all the different gloves from Sims here to help you out, help keep you on the water a little bit longer. So, and speaking of flies too, our fly sale is still going on right now, and it doesn't expire until midnight tonight. So you got a chance to fill someone's stocking or load up on some of your flies that you're going to need for winter fishing over the next couple of months. So just as I've been saying in the past, the spring creeks and the freestone streams down here at the valley floor, where things are several degrees warmer, and the spring creeks, which are pumping in 55-degree groundwater, they're going to be your better bets. Those places, as well as the Jackson tailwater, because that constant water temp coming off the bottom of Lake Moomaw is going to keep the stream conditioned and a little bit milder than some of the higher elevation freestone streams. So these are the kind of places you want to be looking at. Mossy's been fishing pretty well. People have been catching them on small jigged streamers, working some of the undercut banks. A lot of the moss and vegetations have died back for this time of year, so it's a little bit easier to work that streamer from one side to the next. Hopefully we get a good shot of rain. The last one that came through last week did get the creek a little off color, which was nice to see. It was the first time in a while that the stream had been off color. So creeks like Mossy Creek can get a little bit dirtier this time of year because there's just not as much vegetation and not as much moss growing up. That stuff acts like a scrub, like a filter. And so when we get a decent snowmelt or a decent rain, the creek will get a little bit more dingy than it does compared to the summertime. So just kind of pay attention to that. Having a little bit extra cover from some colored water can really be the ticket this time of year to not be spooking as many fish. So we've got great stuff happening here at the shop. We are fully loaded. I mentioned the fly sale. For those of you all who shop with us at mossycreekflyfishing.com, get those orders in. You're probably pretty safe up through Thursday of this week to get stuff to you in time. And then after that, you're probably going to have to do 2-day express to try and get it to you before Christmas Day. So, and we always have gift cards. You can always purchase those anytime, 24 hours a day, and just print them out. So a lot of things happening here. If you've got some places you want to fish over the holidays because you have some time off, come on in. We'll grab the map. We'll take a look at it with you and find some cool places, maybe some new water for you to get out on with your family and friends over the holidays. If you need some up-to-the-minute updates on rain, water flow, snow, anything like that, email us or give us a call. All right, we'll see you next week.